ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमय यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, chapter number 10, verse number 1. So in the previous chapter, we completed the teachings of Avadhuta to King Yadu. In the last 3 chapters, he explained about his 24 gurus. And then the last one was 25th, the human body itself, from which he learned Vairagya, Viveka, not to accumulate things, how everything is temporary and so on. So now here in this chapter, Bhagavan himself instructs Uddhava, there is no question being asked, but start speaking about practice dharma according to varnashram system. So in the previous chapters where he gave the example of Avadhuta, he basically explained about the importance of vairagya, because Krishna's instruction began in 7th chapter when Uddhava asked him question. When he understood that Sri Krishna is about to depart, so Krishna first instructs about vairagya by the example of Avadhuta. So vairagya has its role to play, although bhakti and vairagya are two separate things. But vairagya, especially in the beginning, it is necessary to enter into any spiritual path. If somebody has no vairagya, then why would he take to anything spiritual? So therefore that is the basis. And that also includes vivek. Vivek and vairagya, they go together. Viveka means to distinguish between matter and spirit, primarily body and atma. So this basic knowledge is there to take to spiritual life, although when we study bhakti, then this vivek and vairagya are not independently important. They come naturally as part of bhakti. It's like Visheshu Arochakta Swam. Vairagya means natural dispassion for sense objects, so that comes in bhakti. If one practices it properly, then it happens naturally. But on the path of Jnana Marga, one has to regularly, consciously practice that. So that is the difference. So here in bhakti, this thing is not stressed so much. And this is not understood sometimes. So people keep on bringing vairagya into bhakti independently. So he begins speaking. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Sri Krishna said, Maya uditeshu abhita swadharmeshu madashraya varnashrama kulacharam akamatma samacharet. So he says that being madashraya, that is the first thing, that person should take shelter of Krishna. Taking shelter means that you depend on that, just like in the material world we take shelter of different things, especially money. So we think that without it we cannot function. So that's what ashraya means. Means it is our support, basis, foundation. So like that we have to think that it is Bhagavan who is our ashraya, because he is the ashraya of everything. So then he says, then such a person, what he has to do is Maya uditeshu swadharmeshu avihita, that the dharmas which are one's own, means duties which are prescribed for oneself, which have been spoken by me. So spoken where? In the scripture, Vedic literature. So avahita means being attentive. So not that you just do it mechanically, but attentively. Akam atma madashra varnashram kulacharam samacharet. So being free from material goals, one should practice the varnashram kulachar, means the duties of varnashrama and one's own family duties. So that should be practiced. But here the important part is madashraya. Generally in varnashrama this madashraya part is missing. That you just follow your duties. But here, because Krishna always stresses on bhakti, So even Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, he always includes Bhakti in that. Gita also we read that. So commentary. So Jnanasya sadhanam देह संबंधात बंध आत्मनः दसमे जैमिनीयानाम मतस्य उक्तम च खंडनम. So this karma yoga or karma marga or varnashram system, it is considered as sadhan or the means to attain jnana. As in Gita also Sri Krishna says sarva karma akhila partha jnane parisamapyate. So therefore it says jnanasya sadhanam. So this will be described here, because in the previous chapter he spoke about jnana, vivek, vairagya. So vivek means also jnana. So what is the way to attain it? This varnashram. But there is also varnashram according to Jaimini. So there it says deha sambandhat bandha atmana dasme jaiminiyanam matasya uktam cha khandana. So bandhan of atma is because of deha sambandha, relationship with the body. This mat of Jaimini will be described here and then it will be refuted. This is the essence of 11th chapter. शिक्षाम उक्त्वा sadhanam upadishati. So after completing the instructions, which means instructions of Avadhuta, he speaks about the means to attain that. Because he only said you should be like this, one should be like this. I learned this from pigeon, I learned this from snake. Don't make a house. But how will one suddenly attain to that state? So this is the steps which are given here. So pancharatradi yuktesu madhya dharmesu swadharmesu. So the maya upadesheshu swadharmesu, the dharma which have been instructed by me. So where are they instructed? Says in the Pancharatra. अन्वीक्षेत विशुद्धात्मा देहिनां विषयात्मनां गुणेषु तत्वध्यानेन सर्वारंभ विपर्ययम्. So it says that we have to be very attentive. So whether you follow Jnana Marg, Bhakti Marg, Karma Marg, Yoga Marg, any Marg, one has to be very alert or attentive. It's like if you do even if you are driving, you have to be alert. So you go anywhere, you want to do something, you have to be alert with that. So therefore he says that anviksheta, anviksha is also the word used for nyaya. Sanvikshaki vidya. Sanvikshaki means anuiksham. What has been done, to think about it. What we did was right or wrong. How could I improve it? How could do it better way? Or if I am not successful or reaching my goal, why? So that is called anvikshana here. So anvikshet vishuddhatma. Person who is vishuddhatma, obviously if you want to do anviksha, you cannot do when you are in rajas and tamas. You have to be pure-hearted. So a pure-hearted person should deliberate. What is that? Dehinam vishayatmanam guneshu tattva dhyanena sarvarambha viparya. But it will be people who have bodies and they are vishayatma. So look around people who are vishayatma. Vishayatma means that their atma is in the Visha. They are completely drenched steeped into the sense objects. So this is not very difficult now to have this deliberation. It's easily available. You have to just open your eyes and look around. So therefore it says Dehinam Vishayatmanam, and then what you have to see? Guneshu, that how they are absorbed. Guneshu means Guna Guneshu Vartante iti matvana sajjate. So senses are absorbed in sense objects. Look this around and then tattva dhyanena, deliberate on the tattva, that what is happening. What is happening is sarva arambha viparyayam, that whatever they do, end result, suffering. Sarva arambha viparyayam. So this is easily available all around, everywhere, any country, wherever you go, you will find this in plenty. So there is a lot of masala for doing anviksha. This is what he is saying. In the previous time, so much was not available. Now much more is available easily. So katham akam atma sambhave tatra. How is that one will become akam atma? In the previous one he said akam atma, being free from desire. So he says that will happen only by doing anviksha. So therefore anviksha is very important. Anviksha. Guneshu vishya sukhesu tattva dhyanena purusharth buddhyaye sarve arambha tesam viparyam phale vaiprityam anviksheta puna pashyet. So he says that when a person becomes absorbed in vishya sukha, material pleasure, with the purusharth buddhi, with this intention that this is the goal of my life, this is what I want to achieve. So then what happens? He says, meditate on it, tattva dhyanena. And what will you find? He says, this is what you will see. You don't even have to work very hard. He's already saying, what will you see? But keep on seeing it. Because if you don't see it yourself, it won't work. So he says that ye sarve arambha tesam viparyam phale vaiprityam. That all the arambha, beginning, arambha means whatever project you start with the goal of material happiness, that is the purusharth buddhi, then it will always end up in suffering. In the material world, everything will lead to Vishad Yoga, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you do, you can see it in your own life, you can see it in others' life, that anything you do for material pleasure, it will lead you to first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That is the beginning. This is for everybody. But we don't do the anviksha, so for us the Gita doesn't start. In case of Arjuna, he did anviksha, right? He said, what did he say? Senyor ubhyor madhye ratam sthapya mechyata yavan etan nirikshayam yuddhu kaman upasthitan. He says, as long as I see them. So Arjuna sees this. That's why he takes advantage of the Vishad Yoga. And we don't see it, so we don't even realize that we have Vishad. And if we have Vishad, then you take antidepressant. You don't say that, okay, let's read Bhagavad Gita. Have the solution. So now you remain in the Vishad. So therefore he says, Vaiprityam anviksheta puna pashyeta. So you see this again and again, repeatedly. Even your own thing, what you have done. So ateva viveki. So then viveka will come. Once you do anvikshan, once you do deliberation, you observe like this, then you will have vivek. You will have develop this buddhi, because that is the function of buddhi, that you see what is right, what is wrong, what is proper, what is improper, what gives you happiness, what gives you suffering. So tat prapti nishchaya abhavat niskam. So then you will become niskam, because you know that I did not get it. Sukhaya karmani karoti loke nato sukham anya doparamand. So everybody works for sukha, happiness. Nobody works for suffering, but happiness does not come and suffering does not stop. Even if suffering stops and you don't get happiness, that is also quite good. But that also doesn't happen. So vindayata bhuyas tataiva dukkha. What do you get? You get dukkha only. Yadatra yuktam bhagavan vaden. So Vidura says, please tell me what is appropriate in this situation. What shall we do? So this is what Krishna is describing here. So he says, then only this you will become akamatma, which he said in the previous verse. Then you will be able to move. So he also gives some formula for dispassion. Suptasya vishya loke dhyayato va manoratha nanatmakatvat viflas tatha bhedatma dhirgunai. So he says, suptasya vishya loko dhyayato va manoratha. So we have two states in which we have experience. There are three states which we have: the wakeful state, the dream state, and dreamless state. Dreamless state, there is no experience. You just exist. So in the other two states, what is that we experience? So he says, first he gives the example of dream. So he says, you are in the dream world. You experience. What is experience? Nothing. He says the same thing when you are awake. That's another dreamland. So therefore he says, suptasya vishyaloko. Person who is supta, who is sleeping, dreaming, vishyaloka, he sees the vishyas. And dhyayata va manoratha. And then in manoratha, when you are awake, you are meditating. Then also you are dreaming. When you are awake, you are also dreaming of something in future. Those things are not there. Just as in the dream, nothing is there. It's all manoratha. It's all product of your mind. Same thing you do in your wakeful state. We are not in the present, either in the past, which is not there, or in the future, which is not there. So it's like dream only. At least in the dream you are in the present. But here you are not even in that. So therefore he says this is all nanatmakata vifala. All these things which you are dreaming, seeing, different from different sense objects, it has no benefit, no ultimate vifala. Vifala means that no good comes out of it, except that you waste your time. There is nothing more than that. Tatha bhedatma dhir gunai. So in the same way he says that your dhi, your buddhi is made to experience or seem to think of various sense objects, gunai. Gunai means same vishay, but nothing is really available. So vyavaharik phalasya nashvaratvat praptirapi aprapti tulya eva parmarthik phalam tu kadindriya naiva indriyair naiva prapyate ityaha. So he says that the results which you get in your material life, they're all temporary. So even if you attain them, they're as good as not attained. Praptirapi aprapti tulya eva. And you never get any spiritual benefit with your impure senses, kadindriyai, naiv prapate. There is nothing paramarthik is not available. So that is being described here. Suptasyati. Nanatmakatvat nana padartha alambanatvat vifala. So we are running after different objects. So it is all vifala. Means futile. Paramarthik phal sunya. Why? Because there is no ultimate outcome coming from that. It's all temporary. Yatha tathaiva, he says in the same way, gunair indriyair bhedatmasu nana vishesha. So guna means indriya senses and bhedatma means different sense objects. Dhi nana padarthan alambani krityaya dhisa. So our intelligence which is hanging on to different sense objects, that this will give me happiness, this will give me happiness. So you remain in that, but nothing comes out from there. So somehow, interestingly, Vishwanath Chakravarti, I don't know why, but he got into Nyaya. So he make the Panchavakyas here. I don't know why. Suddenly he gets into this. So he says tatraiva prayoga. So prayoga means when you put something in a logical manner, that is called prayoga. So he says indriyair gunmaya vastusu prathak buddhi. So this is the paksha. Indriyair gunmaya vastusu prathak buddhi. So paksha is your buddhi. There in your intelligence, and your intelligence is divided by your senses. So what is the sadhya? What is that you want to prove? It says paramarthik phal shunya. So your buddhi is paramarthik phal shunya. Buddhi is paksha and it is devoid of any spiritual benefit. Why? What is the hetu? What is the reason? Bhadra bhadratmak nana patartha alambanatvat. Because your buddhi takes shelter of various objects. Some of them are good, some of them are not good. So outcome is not spiritual. So this is the hetu. So what? How do you prove that that will not give you spiritual benefit? So he says, mano janya swapna manoratvat. He says, he gives the example of like your intelligence is divided in your dream state. So there are various sense objects, you are dreaming. What spiritual benefit comes from that? Nothing. So he says same thing here. Tasmat Parmeshware Kalambana Buddhire. So now this is the second prayog. So first prayog, first anuman or inference is that anything you do material, it is falsunya, paramarthik falsunya. Then second inference, by second inference he proves that if you do devotional activity, you get paramarthik benefit. So he says, Parmeshwaraik alambana buddhi. So you have buddhi. In the first case also buddhi was the paksha. Buddhi is the place where you want to prove your object. So in the first case, buddhi is that which is involved in material pleasures. So that buddhi does not get any eternal benefit. Now he says your buddhi is paramarthik alambana, that it is sheltered in Bhagwan, Parameshwar. Ekalam buddhireva. So this will give you paramarthik phala, spiritual result. Why? Tadrupa guna lila bhakti adinam tatah parthakya bhavat. Because Bhagavan's name, form, qualities, pastimes are non-different from him. And he is Satchidananda, Chidekmayatvat. Because he is only transcendental, so his name, his qualities, his activities are all transcendental. Transcendental things are eternal and blissful. Keval bhadratmakatvat. So there are three hetus he gives. Tata parthakya bhavat, chidekmayatvat, keval bhadratmakatvat. They are all auspicious. And auspicious also not materially auspicious, but transcendentally auspicious. Tadekyam eva geyam. Because they are non-different from him. Ateva uktam. So therefore Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita also, Vyavasayatmika buddhir eke ha kuru nandana bahu shakha hi anantasya buddhyo avyavasayina. So then in this sloka, Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna is explaining two types of buddhi. One spiritually buddhi. Buddhi spiritually means buddhi applied to spiritual things, and buddhi applied to material things. So that buddhi which is applied to spiritual thing is called Vyavasayatmika buddhi. That which is applied to material things is called Avyavasayatmika buddhi. So that buddhi which is spiritual is only one, because spirituality is one. And that buddhi which is not spiritual is many branched, because material things are so many. Today you have one type of phone, then new model comes, then I want the new one, then I want the next version of it. So all the time you keep on upgrading. But Krishna is same, although he is also again and again having new version every day. He is Navyavan also. So nivrittam karma seveta pravrittam mat parastyajet jigyasayam sampravritto nadriyet karma chodanam. So he says that you should engage in nitya karma. Nivritta karma, nitya karma, niskam karma, seveta. And pravrittam mat paratyajet. And you should give up the sakam karma, pravritti. So pravritti layasa bhutanam nivrittistu mahaphala. Manusmriti also says that people are very much inclined to engage in pravritti. Means sakam activities, activities with material motive. We are very much inclined for that. But nivrittistu mahaphala. It is niskam which gives the supreme result. So here also he says that nivrittam karma seveta pravrittam matparatyajet. Again matparatyajet. So this is the distinction of what you read in Manusmriti or Purmimansa than what you read here about karma. Manusmriti also describes the varnashrama. All smritis describe varnashrama. But there you will not see matpara, madashraya, these type of things. So this is the improvised version of varnashram, which Krishna is giving in Gita and Bhagavad. That's why Vyasa has to write Bhagavat, because what he did before is not very clear. So jigyasam sampravritto, so then you become situated in jigyasa, which here means that you get out of the sakama, you become yogarudha. And once you have come to that state, you have come to the state of athato brahma jigyasa. So jigyasayam sampravritta. Then he says that now you can go beyond the karma. So nadriyet karma chodhanam. Means those injunction of Shastra, you can give them up once you come to this state. So this is also the meaning of athato Brahma Jigyasa. So atha means after you have studied the Vedas, Purvamimamsa, and you understand that the purpose is beyond that, so then you are not interested in all those sakam things. So therefore he says you go beyond that. Yasmad evam tasman matparaha made kalambana dhir niskamaha nivrittam nitya karma pravrittam kamya karma jigyasayam samyag eva pravritto jigyasa uttara dasastho yoga rodhas chedityartha. So since one acts like that, what is described in the previous sloka, one has done this deliberation that material things give only material result, which is ultimately, as you said, that praptirapi apraptireva, attaining it is also as good as not attaining. So then one takes to the spiritual one. So then one becomes made kalambanadhi, that your intelligence becomes fixed only on Bhagwan, and therefore you become niskama. So being niskama, engage in nivritta karma or nitya karma, and give up pravrittam kamya karma. And then you come to the state of jigyasa, you go beyond karma, sarva karma akala partha jnane parisamapyate. It leads you to knowledge, so you want to know more. So jigyasayam samyag eva pravritta. So jigyasayam sampravritta. So sampravritta here means that now he is not interested in karma, that is the meaning. So this is called yoga rudha. So yoga rudasya tasyeva samay karanam uchyate, as he quotes down. So jigyasayam samyag eva pravritto jigyasa uttara dasastho yoga rudhas chedityartha. So jigyasayam sampravritta means that this person is not just doing inquiry. Jigyasa means you want to know, but he has become situated in yoga now. So this is called yoga rudha. Karma chodhanam nitya naimittik adi karma vidhi anadhikarat nadriyat. So now he has gone beyond the jurisdiction of karma, of all this vidhi and said do this, don't do this. So he has transcended that. That is the significance of this. So as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, arurukshor munir yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudhasya tasyeva shamay karanam uchyate yada hi naindriyartheshu na karmasva anusajyate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhas taduchyate. So in the beginning, one who wants to become perfected in yoga, he says karma karanam uchyate. That engaging in karma is the means for that. But yoga rudhasya tasyeva, but one who has attained the result of yoga, then samay karanam uchyate, then there is no more need to engage in karma. So then what is his state? Indriyarthesu na karmasu anusajyate. He is not attached to the objects of senses or karma, and that person is called yoga rudha, sarva sankalpa sannyasi. So he does not make any sankalpa for anything material, no resolve to achieve any material pleasure. So this person is called yoga rudha, sarva sankalpe sannyasi yoga rudha stadauchyate. So this is the yoga rudha which is indicated here by jigyasayam sampravritta. By reading this word jigyasayam sampravritta, it is difficult to see that it is referring to yoga rudha. Without commentary, it's difficult to understand some of these slokas. So then he says, what is to be done in that state? He says, yaman abhikshnam sevet niyaman matparah kvachit madabhigyam gurum shantam upasita madatmakam. So he says that one should regularly observe the yama and niyama kochit. There also again the word matpara is used here, that devoted to me. So in all this practice, devotion to Bhagavan is always there. They are not independent. This is not pure devotion, but they are not doing without devotion any of these activities. And then makes this very important statement. He says, Madabhigyam Gurum Shantam Upashita Madatmakam. So one should approach a guru and take shelter, serve him. And in very brief, he has given the qualification of guru. So what is the qualification of guru? He says, Madabhigyam, that he knows me, means he knows Bhagavan. As in Gita, Krishna says that Updekshanti te jnanam tattvadarshina. So tattvadarshi, madabhigyam, brahmanishtam, same. So shabde parecha nishnatam, the meaning of pare nishnatam, brahmanishtam, all this means that the person, guru, has knowledge, experience of it. And therefore Shantam is peaceful, and Madatmakam is devoted to me, or I am the Atma, or is not different from me. So this is, in a very brief, he gives the definition. And this Yama and Niyama, they will come also later on. Krishna will speak Ahimsa Satyam Asteya Masangor Hirasanchaya Astikyam Brahmacharyam Che Maunam Stharyam Kshama Bhayam. So all this Krishna himself is going to speak about yamas and niyamas. Saucham japas tapo home shraddha tityam vadarchanam tirtharthanam parartheha tushtiracharya sevanam. So yamas are those which you have to do. Means they are not that you do them at a particular time or particular situation, they are always done. So therefore it says yaman abhikshnam sevet. Because what is yama? Just like ahimsa, non-violence, truthfulness, not stealing. So it's not that I don't steal on Saturdays but I can do it on Mondays or something. It's nothing. It's continuous. But the other one, saucha, cleanliness. So this is okay. Morning you take bath, you're not taking bath continuously. So those things are particular timings. So that's why he says that Yaman Abhikshnam Sevet Niyaman Matparak Kvachit. And also according to Kvachit means sometime, but here it means that as per the need, then you also practice them. So both have to be practiced. But Yama means they are very regular, and Niyama, they may be certain situations. So, kintu yaman himsadin abhikshnam adarena sevet. So the yamas, which are like non-violence, truthfulness, so he says they must be practiced all the time. Abhikshnam means without any break, with faith, with respect. And niyaman sauchadins tu kvachit yatha shakti. And the niyama, as per our ability and as per requirement, you follow them. So therefore, that is the meaning of kvachit. Tanscha ekon vimsaya adhyaye vakshati. They will be described in the 19th chapter. Krishna himself will describe. Kincha sarvatopi adhikena agrahena guru upashita ityaya madhavik. But more important than anything else, he says, is worship of Guru. Madhibhigyam Gurum Shantam Upasita Madatma. So as Narada Rishi also told to King Yudhishthira when he was describing Varnashram in 7th canto. No, this is Prahlada speaking, I think, 7th canto. So Sarvam Guru Sevaya. That all perfection can come by service to Guru. So that is being described here. Now he describes some of the characteristics how one should be a sadhaka. So he says, Amaniyamat saro daksho nirmamo drida saurhidaha asatvaro agyasurna anusuyuramo bhavak. So he says that satvaro arth jigyasu. This mistake here is asatvaro, it should be artha jigyasu. Anusuyura Moghavak. This book doesn't have. So Amani, everybody is familiar with this word Amani, Manadena, Kirtani, Sadahari. Krishna also says this. Later on also Krishna uses the same word Amani. Amani Namanadena, he will say this later also. Both. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. So he says Amani. So Amani means what? Means not hankering for respect. Which also means not being proud. Because only those who are proud they want that. So means being humble. And Amatsara, these are very important qualities for bhakti, for any spiritual path. So Matsara means jealousy. Jealousy is a very big problem. Bhāgavatam also says that without getting rid of jealousy you cannot be devotee. So therefore it says Nirmatsaranam Satam. So this is a very big disease in the material world, Matsar. So therefore it says it should be Amatsara. And Daksha, Daksha means don't be lazy. Manda Sumanda Matyo Manda Bhagya Padarata. Kali Yuga is also very prevalent problem, laziness. And Nirmama, Nirmama means not having sense of possessiveness. And Drida Saurida, having deep friendship to devotees to Bhagavan. Asatvara. So Asatvara means being patient. Satvara means immediate. I want immediate result. So these are all problems in the present day age. People are very impatient. They want immediate benefit, immediate result, immediate outcome. And Artha Jigyasu should also be Jigyasu about the ultimate good. And Anusuya, so non-envious. And Amoghavak, no prajalpa, not talking unnecessarily. Useless talk, useless debates, plentifully available. So I keep on debating with others. Nothing comes out of it. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Guru Sevakasya Dharmanaha. So he says that these are the qualities of a person who performs service to Guru. So it works both ways, that if you do service to Guru, you will attain these qualities. And to do service, you have to have these qualities. So means it's an ongoing process. You start doing it, then gradually you will start becoming Amani. amatsara. These qualities will develop by doing seva. Because if you want to do seva, you have to be a mani. One who is mani cannot do seva. One who is jealous also cannot do. Because he will make politics. One who is lazy, daksha, cannot do seva. One who is jalpaka, too much talking, amoghavak, therefore he says, non-envious. So these are all qualities for doing seva. These qualities naturally come in bhakti, but on other path you have to develop them. But in case of bhakti also, if we do not know them and we don't have them, then in bhakti also not easy to perform. So there also this is necessary. Therefore Krishna is laying the foundation for bhakti. That this is how devotees also have this characteristic. Because what is devotion is service. So if you do service to Guru, then you can do service to Krishna also. So this is important to know this. So Guru Sevakasya Dharmanaha Maniti. Nirmama Mamta Sunya. Nirmama means devoid of sense of possession. And Dridha Sahida Guru Ishtadevecha Dridha Sahida. So staunch attachment, liking, devotion to Guru and Ishtadev, Krishna. Asatvaraha sadhya vastu praptau tvaram akurvan. Asatvara means that you are not in a hurry that, oh, I am doing this. I have been sadhaka for 6 months, but there is nothing I have attained. If I was in the corporate world, I would have been promoted by now. Right? And here nothing is happening. They still call me that you are a neophyte. Right? So he says, don't be in a hurry. Jayapatya graha kshetra swajan dravinadishu udasina samam pashyan sarveshu artham ivatmanah. So what about the things we have, how we have to deal with those? So he is giving a formula for that also. So he says that in wife, children, house, land, relatives, wealth, and all other possessions, you remain udasina. Udasina means detached. They are there. You need that. We need house, need some facility, but not becoming attached to them. So therefore udasina. Samam pashyan, being equanimous, seeing the presence of Bhagavan, everything. Sarvartheshu, sarveshu artham iva atmana. So in everything you have to see that how this can be utilized to achieve my goal. Sarveshu artham means, this is also one of the meanings. Sarveshu artham iva atmana. Atmana means my artha. What is my artha, my purushartha, my goal, my prayojan? I have to see this, how this is helping me to achieve my goal. If it helps, good. If it does not help, then not only udasina, better get rid of it. So that is practical knowledge he is giving. So kidrishena vicharena anyatra nirmama syat ityaha. How you have to be detached everywhere else, because for Bhagavan and Guru he said dridha sahrida, the sense of friendliness is in them, and everywhere else udasina. So how is that? That is being described. Atmanah swasya artham swarna rupyadi mudra rupam dhanamiva samam pashyan tat yatha vyavaharikam yavat yasya kargatam syat tavadeva tasya mamtaspadam natu sarvada eva tattad evam jayadikam api jayadikam. So he said, just like you have wealth, gold, money, so he says whoever has it, as long as they have it, it is theirs, then it goes to somebody else, then it is theirs, then it goes to somebody else, then it is theirs. So he says it's like that. So he says Swarna Rupyadi Mudra Rupam Dhanamiva Samam Pashyan. So Yatha Vyavaharikam Yavat Yasya Kargatam. So just as in our practical life, he says Yavat Yasya Kargatam. As long as somebody has it in his own hands, Tavat Tasya Taspadam. So it is his only as long as, not all the time. Natu Sarvada eva. Tattadevam Jayadikam api iti. So he says wife, children, these are also like that. Tatra tatra mamtaya anekantikatva darshanat. Nirmamata eva uchita. So he says in all these things also the mamata is not ekantika. Anekantika hetvabhas. Remember anekantika hetvabhas. Vyabhichar. Means there is a deviation. That today somebody is married, is my wife, my husband, then they divorce. Right? So it's just like I had something, some money in my hand, then I bought something. I gave it, now this money is somebody else. So this happens in relations also. So he says that they are not permanent. They come and go. Even if they continue for the rest of your life, still beyond life they will not be there. So Yaduktam Chitraketu Putrena. So this was said by son of Chitraketu. Yatha vastuni panyani hemadini tukramya. Beginning with this, that just like the objects which are there for selling, like gold, etc. So nityatvarthasya sambandho yanityo drishyate nrishu yavad yasya hi sambandho mamatvam tavadevahi. So he says that Atma is nitya, Atma is eternal, and all these objects, they are anitya. So the relationship between nitya and anitya will be nitya or anitya? Anitya only. Although one is eternal, another is temporary. So the relationship cannot be nitya. Relationship between eternal and eternal can be eternal. But relationship between nitya and anitya will be anitya. So Atma is nitya, but all other things are anitya. Therefore their relationship is also anitya. And he says it's just like you have some objects in the market. So as long as nobody buys, they belong to the shopkeeper, then you buy them, then they become yours. Then you may also gift them to somebody, then they become theirs. So their ownership keeps on changing. It is not permanent. And even if you have some object for your whole life, then after your death it goes to somebody else. The house or land or some property in which we are, maybe before that it was somebody else's. So this is how the material world is also like that. So I'll stop here if there is any question to ask. Krishna is continuing. He's going heavy on Vairagya. Rakesh.
Babaji, you can hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm coming with you with a heavy heart. We're hearing all these things, and sometimes I feel the choices I've made in life. I can't do Guru Seva. I can't be there. But I'm here, I'm trying, I'm learning. So what benefit in that separation, what benefit is there for someone, we're trying to cultivate these desires for spiritual life, to do things, but there's also this, there's the insatisfaction of not being able to do something. Am I making myself understandable?
Very much.
Like where should be our focus? Because we're trying to study. Should that be our focus only?
Yes, you continue with your sadhana, that is good enough. That is also seva. Just like doing kirtan is seva. So it looks like, what is the seva in this? Right? Sometimes people ask, what is the seva in doing kirtan? This is also seva. Hearing is also seva, shravanam, kirtanam. So, but it should be done for the pleasure of Krishna. We are hearing or doing kirtan for his pleasure. That is the bhav we have to keep. So therefore hearing, chanting, this should also be done in anugat bhav, guru anugatya, in the mood of being a follower. That is important. You can also do these things independently. Because this question comes, why we need guru. So Krishna himself said here, Madhabhigyam Gurum Shantam Upashitam Adatma. Because this whole idea is to give up this sense of independence. We are not independent, but somehow we have this very deep thought which is based in ignorance. And that has to be changed, because that's not reality. So this is the effort which is being made. Why this amani and jealousy and all that? Because they are all making you feel independent. If you are a mani, you want respect for whom? For yourself. So you think you are a separate entity. Being jealous, envious, all this laziness, what is said, or even being impatient. So these are all things related to the same thing, my ahankara of being independent. So that is to be given up. So we have to align that with Krishna and in practical sense with Guru. Otherwise we say, well, why do I need Guru? Then I have Krishna directly. So that it puts you into the same loop. There is something called rationalization. So rationalize means rationalize. It's very rational, but it is a lie. That's why it is called rationalization. Bhushan.
Babaji Pranam, so I have a question on sannyasa. Sannyasa is vairagya, but still has rules. Like it is in the varnashrama system. But here, for example, Shri Krishna says that you don't necessarily, you can just naimitika follow it. What I'm struggling to understand is like how can vairagya have rules? Like if they have vairagya, then they should not have rules. But sannyasa still has rules. Like they have to, like Kshetra Sannyasa cannot leave this place.
They have what?
They have rules, like Kshetra Sannyasa I've heard, like you have to sit in one place, be in one place. There are some other rules where you cannot go back to your home, visit your home for some reason. So there are all of these rules. So why would there be rules when a person has genuine vairagya in his...
So the rule is that as long as you have not attained vairagya, once you attain vairagya, how does it matter?
Okay.
Otherwise then you will same rationalize then. You will go to your home and you be with your family and you say, well, what difference does it make? I'm a vairagi. People also do that. So to avoid that. Vivek.
Thank you.
Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, is there any trick or any hacks that you can give to become udasin towards relatives and everyone, especially with your parents?
Yeah.
Because they tend to make you feel, emotional. Like in my example, I came to Vrindavan for a day with my mom recently, and my wife, and then she was quite worried that I was taking class and I was just absorbed in this, and I was speaking a very little. So she used to make me remember that, when you were a kid, you used to do this, that, you used to talk a lot. Now you are in your own world.
You should have asked her, what were you doing when you were a kid? Yeah.
Ji.
And are you doing that now? So she will say no. Right? Because when she was a kid, she was in a different house. And there was no children, no husband, nothing. Her moorings were completely different. So she left all that and she is udasin to all that now, right? Your mother is a good example of being udasin. Is she not udasin to the parents' house? She is worried about...
She is.
She is
She
worried...
says that as long as her parents were alive, then she used to express her feelings and everything.
No,
she
she
was
may...
not expressing my feelings also.
She was not expressing feelings or anything. She is just telling lies. Yeah, it is a fact. She is completely absorbed in her own family. Once a girl comes out and gets married and then had children, it's natural, They become absorbed in their own family, Parents are there, of course, some relation is there, but it is udasin. But they will not accept it because it looks very bad.
So how should I react? I mean, when she tries to make me emotional or something. So if you can...
Just the hack is same, that remember how she is and how she would have been when she was 7-8 years old. Before marriage, how she was and how she is now. See the difference.
Right.
So that is the hack.